This week on Common Grounds TV.
We talked to Barista champion Kyle Straw about coffee made from cat poo. We find the Fight Club of coffee that is actually run by a guy named Tyler. And we find out what this guy's tamping.
Welcome to Vancouver. Some of the best coffee in the country. That's all I gotta say about it.
Vancouver. We had almost forgotten just how good the local coffee scene is here. With most of the past barista champions calling the West Coast home, it is not hard to find a really, really good coffee.
A few years ago, Artigiano offered a coffee from Panama from a farm called Esmeralda, which we were selling, I think at the time, for $15 a cup. And it was really sort of the first kind of coffee that I'd ever experienced that was that expensive and had that much hype around it. Turns out it was a really nice cup of coffee, really well balanced, very floral. I'd never had anything that complex and that sort of delicate and interesting before. So it's called a geisha varietal, which from the reading that I've done, I think it's because it seems to have originated near a mountain called Geisha Mountain in Ethiopia. And there's if you do the research, people have sort of tried to track where it went around the world before it ended up where it did in Panama. So it started opening up questions like, well, you know, if you transplant a coffee originally from one area and take it somewhere else, why does it have a different characteristic? And why is it so great here and it hasn't necessarily been this amazing elsewhere? Well, the story that I know is that the farmers knew they had good coffee, but they weren't exactly sure if their coffee was good because all of it was good, or if there was some part of the farm that was kind of, when they pooled everything together, was making everything else better. So what they did is I think they decided that they were going to sort of somehow split their farm into these little regions and then start checking the coffee from those regions. And what they found was that at one of the higher elevations, after they got a botanist in, they found out that there was predominantly, I think, a geisha varietal growing there. And when they cupped it, they thought it was really, really great. They ended up bringing it to a Best of Panama competition where it won. And I think that kind of started the whole thing. Led to a big bidding war online, which I think instantly turned this coffee into celebrity status. From what I've read, it sits on a volcano, so the soil's really, really rich. And it must just be great growing conditions for that particular bean, for that particular varietal. I'm not a botanist, so I don't really know why.
No, you're an engineer.
Yeah. But it's very nice. And the La Carlita was a really nice cup of coffee as well. Well, originally, so these civet cats would like wander around and eat apparently like the really ripe, really juicy cherries, crap them out. People would go around, pick them up, collect them, and then roast them. And I guess part of the reason why that coffee was supposed to be good was because the cats were really good selectors. You know, they would only pick like really, really ripe, really juicy cherries. Right. What you find now is if you go to Indonesia, they've turned it into a farm in a lot of places. So there's a lot of like real Kopi Luwak and then fake stuff. I've never tried either. I don't know if the real stuff is any good. Kind of scares me a little bit. But
how expensive is that?
You know, I've heard stuff like $200 a pound. I've heard, yeah. And
for poop coffee.
Yeah. And like the crazy thing is, like, a lot of it is just like these cats sitting in cages and they're force feeding them, well, maybe not force feeding them, but feeding them coffee, and then they just crap it out and pick it up and then sell it to the West. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can also get like olive oil that's gone through. I don't know if it's a civet cat or like a monkey or something, right?
Just a house cat. It's a tabby.
And then they squeeze out, press out your olive oil. Oh yeah.
Really?
There's a whole industry for that. For shit food.
Through our vast network of coffee connections, we got invited to the Fight Club of Coffee, a barista sprowdown, where local espresso slingers challenge each other with their own bean selection and only 5 minutes to pull off a winning shot.
My name is Tyler Russell. I'm the owner and director of the Cafe for Contemporary Art, otherwise known as Kafka. Tonight we're hosting the first annual Baristiati Sprowdown, where we invite baristas from all over British Columbia to come and throw down some espresso.
Fernwood Coffee's putting it on. Where is this? It's the equivalent of like a jam session between like a super group or something for a musician.
Yeah, I guess
like
so.
the same sort of thing. That's cool.
Yeah, we are the world.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Nice. So if this thing's loosely competitive, is there an actual winner at the end? And if so, what do they go home with?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, everybody registered with $5. So we've got half of that is going to go to the winner, whoever the winner is. And the other half of that money is going to go to Coffee Kids.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So it's just it's a nice way to run the event.
Yeah.
We're a contemporary art space, and we're a cafe. We really care about our coffee. We really care about our art. We're not any kingdom holder. We pour a lot of different coffees in our cafe. We mainly do 49. We're like hooked up with them, but then we also pour some other espressos and some other, like we bring in Ritual from time to time, a little bit of Stumptown, just different things from here and there, something that people will enjoy, right? We're an open space. We welcome anybody to come in. We don't want to be like, look, our espresso's the best, buy it, buy it, buy it. We're not that guy. We're just like, hey, come, let's enjoy all the different kinds of espresso, because espresso is like an art. Right, you're taking you're taking all kinds of different elements to compose the best culinary experience, or the most interesting, or a provocative. Everybody's brought their own espresso. Some people have roasted special blends. Other people have just brought in like Black Cat or JJ Nero or whatever it might be, but some people have done some special roasts too. Cool. And we've got all of those are being presented behind the bar right now.